Seniors struggling with nighttime toileting? Try these 5 vegetables that will improve your health.
Have you ever found yourself waking up in the middle of the night just to pee? It's one of those annoying, exhausting things that seem to get worse as we get older. You finally get comfortable in bed, your body's ready for rest, your eyes are closing, and just when you start to drift off, the urge hits. For many older adults, nighttime urination, also called nocturia, is a real frustration. Sure, medications and certain health conditions can contribute, but one factor that doesn't get talked about enough is your diet, especially the vegetables you eat. What you put on your plate can quietly influence how often your bladder wakes you up at night. Some veggies can irritate your bladder lining, mess with your body's fluid balance, or spark inflammation in the urinary tract, making those bathroom trips more frequent. But others? They actually soothe, support, and even help retrain your bladder to hold steady through the night. In this video, we're diving into 5 vegetables that can help reduce nighttime urination in older adults. These aren't some rare superfoods or hard-to-find ingredients. They're simple, familiar veggies that, when eaten regularly and timed right during the day, can make a genuine difference in how often you wake up. Each one works in its own unique way, from calming bladder irritation to easing inflammation to supporting kidney function and managing fluid balance. And as we go through them, I'll explain why these effects matter, especially if you're in your 60s, 70s, or beyond. Stick with me till the end, because once you understand how these veggies work together, you might finally start sleeping deeper, waking up less, and feeling more refreshed than you have in years. All right, let's jump in. Number 1, pumpkin and its seeds. The first vegetable might surprise you, not just for what it does, but how quietly powerful it is. I'm talking about pumpkin, and more specifically, both the flesh and the seeds. Most people think of pumpkins as seasonal decorations or just something for pies, but for older adults dealing with nighttime urination, pumpkin is a natural, gentle way to support bladder strength and reduce those urgent trips after dark. Let's start with the seeds. Pumpkin seeds are loaded with zinc, a mineral essential for maintaining prostate health, especially in men over 60. But even for women, these seeds offer phytoestrogens, plant compounds that reduce inflammation in the bladder lining and help calm an overactive urinary system. Research shows that regular pumpkin seed extract can lower how often men and women wake up at night to pee. The best part? You don't need pills or supplements. Just eating a handful of plain, unsalted pumpkin seeds during the day can provide similar benefits over time. Now, what about the pumpkin flesh? Cooked pumpkin, whether roasted or steamed, is rich in beta-carotene and fiber. Fiber is important because it helps regulate hydration and digestion, which are closely tied to how your kidneys and bladder. Now, what about the pumpkin flesh? Cooked pumpkin, whether roasted or steamed, is rich in beta-carotene and fiber. Fiber is important because it helps regulate hydration and digestion, which are closely tied to how your kidneys and bladder behave. When your bowels are sluggish, your bladder often compensates by sending more urges, especially at night. But when you regularly eat fiber-rich foods like pumpkin, your body starts to balance itself from the inside out. I remember talking to a man named Leonard, 78 years old. He started adding pumpkin to his evening meal 3 times a week. Not much, just half a cup, sometimes blended into soup or mashed with a bit of olive oil. Within a month, he noticed he was waking up just once per night instead of 3. He said it wasn't a miracle, but a steady change, and that's what made him trust it. Leonard's experience isn't unique. Pumpkin works slowly but surely, unlike over-the-counter remedies that might leave you feeling dried out, groggy, or dependent. Another bonus is that pumpkin is naturally low in sodium. That's super important for older adults because high sodium intake leads to water retention during the day and then a big fluid release at night. This cycle fills your bladder and disrupts your sleep. By reducing sodium and adding potassium-rich foods like pumpkin, you're telling your kidneys to hold fluid better and reduce that nighttime flush. There's also magnesium in pumpkin, another mineral many older adults lack. Magnesium helps relax the muscles of the bladder wall. When those muscles are tight or irritated, you feel more urgency. But when they're calm, your bladder holds more and signals less. So pumpkin is a simple, calming food that can help your bladder hold steady through the night. And here's the best part. It's easy to prepare. No peeling or complicated cooking needed. You can buy canned pumpkin, just make sure it's plain pumpkin, not pie filling, or cube fresh pumpkin and roast it with a little olive oil and cinnamon. It pairs well with meats, grains, or soups. Eating pumpkin regularly, especially earlier in the day, sets your bladder up for a quieter, more restful night. So next time you're making your grocery list, don't overlook this humble vegetable. It might not be flashy, but for older adults wanting to sleep through the night without multiple bathroom trips, pumpkin's quiet reliability could be exactly what you need. Number 2, cucumber. Cucumbers often get written off as just crunchy salad fillers, but they actually offer a gentle, targeted benefit when it comes to calming an irritated bladder, especially at night. If you're someone who struggles with frequent urination after bedtime, cucumbers can be a quiet hero. First off, cucumbers are mostly water. Yes, they hydrate you, but that's not a bad thing, even if you want to avoid nighttime bathroom trips. The secret is when you eat them. If you enjoy cucumbers earlier in the day, like with lunch or as a midday snack, they help flush your system in a gentle, rhythmic way. That means your body gets rid of excess fluid well before bedtime instead of having to dump it all into your bladder in the middle of the night. But there's more than just water. Cucumbers contain compounds like cucurbitacin, a natural anti-inflammatory that reduces swelling in the bladder lining. This is super helpful if you've ever had that burning or tingling sensation that makes you feel like you need to go even if your bladder isn't full. By calming that internal irritation, cucumbers help reduce the false alarms your bladder sends overnight. They're also rich in silica and potassium, two nutrients that support kidney function and help regulate sodium balance. Why does sodium matter? Because too much sodium during the day means your body retains more fluid, which then gets released at night when you lie down. By eating potassium-rich foods like cucumbers, you support your kidneys to handle fluids during the day, giving your bladder a break when it counts most. I once spoke with Doris, an 83-year-old woman who had struggled with nighttime bathroom trips for years. She didn't want medication or to give up her tea, but she did start eating half a cucumber with lunch every day. Within 2 weeks, she was only getting up once a night instead of 4. She told me, "I didn't feel like my bladder was yelling at me anymore. It just relaxed." That slow shift toward calm and control is what we're aiming for. When your bladder lining is less inflamed, when your kidneys are working better, and when your sodium-potassium balance is steady, everything just works more smoothly. One thing to watch out for, don't save cucumbers for dinner. Eating them late means their hydrating effects kick in just as you're heading to bed. Instead, try having cucumbers at breakfast or lunch, add slices to your sandwich, cube them into cottage cheese, or toss them in a salad with vinegar and dill. That cooling effect isn't just for taste, it's for function. And one last tip, cucumbers also soothe your digestive tract. For many older adults, a backed up digestive system can press on the bladder and cause urgency. By keeping digestion regular and calm, cucumbers ease that pressure too. Everything in your body is connected, and cucumbers support more than just your bladder. So the next time you open your fridge, don't overlook that pale green veggie sitting quietly in the corner. It might not look like medicine, but sometimes the best remedies don't need a label. They just need to be eaten regularly, thoughtfully, and at the right time. Number 3, celery. Celery might seem like a plain, everyday veggie, usually just part of a soup base or a crunchy snack. But for older adults dealing with frequent nighttime urination, celery can be surprisingly helpful when used the right way. So, why celery? Well, it gently encourages your body to get rid of excess fluid during the day, not at night where you're trying to sleep. It acts as a natural diuretic, helping your kidneys filter out sodium and flush water from your system. But unlike strong pharmaceutical diuretics, celery works slowly and gently, preserving your body's balance without depleting essential minerals. The key is timing. Eating celery earlier in the day, like at breakfast or lunch, gives your body plenty of time to process and eliminate extra fluid before bedtime. This reduces the pressure on your bladder at night and helps cut down those annoying midnight bathroom trips. Celery also contains both sodium and potassium in a natural balance that helps your body manage water better. When these minerals are balanced, your body doesn't feel the need to hold on to water all day, which means less fluid to suddenly release once you lie down. Another big plus? Celery helps reduce internal bloating and abdominal pressure. For many older adults, even a little gas or retained fluid in the belly can push on the bladder and increase urgency. By supporting better digestion and lowering inflammation in the gut, celery takes some of that pressure off your urinary system. I remember talking to Thomas, a 74-year-old who started drinking fresh celery juice 3 mornings a week. No store-bought sugary stuff, just blended celery stalks with water and lemon. Within 2 weeks, he dropped from 3 bathroom trips a night down to just one. He hadn't made any other changes. I didn't expect much, he said, but my bladder just calmed down. You don't have to drink it, though. You can chop celery into tuna salad, add it to omelets, or roast it with other veggies. Just make sure to enjoy it earlier in the day so it can do its natural flushing work well before bedtime. Celery is also rich in flavonoids, plant compounds that reduce inflammation in the urinary tract. For older adults with overactive bladders or frequent urges even when the bladder isn't full, lowering inflammation can make a huge difference. Plus, celery's fiber gently supports digestion. Nothing too rough, just enough to keep things moving and prevent the bladder from paying the price when your gut is sluggish. Lastly, celery is hydrating without flooding your system. It gives your body water without overwhelming your bladder late at night. And because it's low in calories and sugar, you can enjoy it often without any downsides. So if you want a quiet, reliable way to cut down nighttime urination, celery deserves a spot on your plate. It's not flashy, but its calming, flushing, and balancing effects can really add up, especially when paired with other vegetables we're talking about here.
Number 4, green beans. Green beans might look simple and unremarkable, but for seniors struggling with nighttime urination, they're surprisingly effective. These slender veggies pack a unique combo of nutrients that help reduce bladder overactivity, support kidney function, and even improve sleep, all without any harsh effects. First up, green beans are naturally high in magnesium. You might know magnesium for muscle cramps or bone health, but it's also essential for relaxing the smooth muscles in your bladder. When those muscles get tense or inflamed, even a small amount of urine can trigger that urgent need to go. But when magnesium helps keep things relaxed, your bladder holds more comfortably and signals less urgency. Green beans also contain water, but not so much that they overwhelm your system. That's important because many older adults make the mistake of consuming too much liquid close to bedtime, which then wakes them up. Getting hydration from water-rich veggies like green beans earlier in the evening allows your body to absorb fluids gradually and use them efficiently. The fiber in green beans also plays a big role, not just for digestion, but for reducing pressure inside your abdomen. When your intestines are bloated or backed up, they press down on your bladder, triggering urgency. Green beans help regulate digestion and ease that pressure, so your bladder can rest peacefully overnight. Margaret, 81, told me she started eating steamed green beans every evening with dinner. Nothing fancy, just a little sea salt and olive oil. Within a week, she noticed a real difference in her sleep. I was surprised something so simple could help so much, she said. But it's that consistent, quiet effect that really counts. Another important detail, green beans are low in oxalates, which matters a lot. Oxalates, found in foods like spinach and beets, can irritate the urinary tract and make the bladder sensitive. Green beans avoid that problem. They soothe instead of irritate. And just like celery, green beans provide a natural balance of potassium and sodium. This helps your kidneys manage fluids without forcing your bladder to bear the burden, reducing daytime water retention and nighttime urges. Green beans are also easy to digest, which is great for seniors with sensitive stomachs or chronic bloating. The gentler your digestion, the less inflammation you trigger, and the more your body can focus on healing and resting. You can prepare green beans in many ways: steamed, roasted, sautéed, or tossed in soups. They're affordable and widely available, which is great if you're on a fixed income. The real beauty of green beans is how quietly effective they are. You won't see instant miracles overnight, but over a few weeks, many older adults report fewer bathroom trips and deeper, more refreshing sleep. And isn't that the goal? Not just fewer interruptions, but real healing rest.
If you're still watching and finding this helpful, please drop a comment with the number 4 below to say you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. Your support helps us keep making good content to inform and inspire. Number 5, kale. Kale might get a reputation as a trendy superfood, but for older adults dealing with nighttime urination, it's about real, reliable support for kidneys, bladder, and fluid balance, not trends. What sets kale apart? It's loaded with minerals like potassium and calcium that help your kidneys manage fluids better and keep your bladder calm. When your body is balanced and well hydrated, it doesn't send urgent signals every few hours. Instead, it processes waste smoothly, letting you sleep through the night with fewer disruptions. Kale is also packed with vitamin C, but here's the key. Vitamin C from whole foods like kale, especially cooked kale, doesn't irritate your bladder the way synthetic supplements can. Many seniors take high-dose vitamin C pills hoping to boost health, but those can actually make the bladder sensitive. Kale offers a gentler, safer way. Plus, kale is anti-inflammatory. Chronic, low-level inflammation around the bladder and urinary tract is a sneaky, common cause of overactive bladder symptoms. When that lining is inflamed, nerves get extra sensitive, and even small amounts of urine feel urgent. Kale's antioxidants, like quercetin and camphorol, help calm that inflammation over time. There's also a surprising liver connection. The liver filters hormones and toxins that affect your body's fluid balance and sleep cycles. When the liver's working well, everything else runs smoother, especially in older adults. I met George, 74, who was skeptical about kale at first. "I thought it was just for vegans," he said. But after adding a cup of sautéed kale to dinner 3 times a week, he noticed fewer nighttime wake-ups. "I still went before bed, but once I hit the pillow, I slept through," he told me. "It was like my bladder finally got the message." If you're new to kale, don't overwhelm your system. Start with small amounts and cook it lightly. Raw kale can be tough on digestion for some, but steamed, sautéed, or blended into warm soups, it becomes gentle and supportive. The real power of kale is how it works on many fronts: calming inflammation, balancing minerals, supporting detox, and helping your body manage fluids without drama. It's not flashy or fast-acting, but with regular use, kale can be a quiet game changer. In a world full of prescriptions and quick fixes that don't always suit older bodies, sometimes the best solution is simply what you put on your plate. If you're still with me, drop a comment with the number 5 below. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications to catch every video we make. Number 6. Cucumber. Cucumber is more than just a crunchy salad staple. It's a hydration superstar with unique properties that help reduce nighttime urination for older adults. Why cucumber? For starters, cucumbers are about 95% water, but unlike just drinking plain water before bed, eating cucumber earlier in the day helps your body hydrate gradually and flush out excess fluids without overloading your bladder at night. Cucumbers also contain a compound called cucurbitation, which has anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects. This means cucumbers help calm irritation in the urinary tract, reducing those sudden urges to pee even when the bladder isn't full. Another benefit? Cucumbers are high in magnesium and potassium, 2 minerals that help relax bladder muscles and support kidney function. When your bladder muscles are relaxed, you're less likely to feel that urgent need to rush to the bathroom. I remember talking to Elaine, 78, who added sliced cucumber to her morning water and ate cucumber salads during lunch. Within a couple of weeks, she noticed fewer bathroom trips at night and felt more rested in the mornings. "It was such a simple change," she said, "but my nights have been so much better." Plus, cucumbers are low in calories and sugar, so they won't spike blood sugar or cause bladder irritation like some fruits can. To get the most benefit, eat cucumbers earlier in the day. You can slice them into water, toss them into salads, or enjoy them with a bit of lemon and mint for flavor. Just avoid eating them too close to bedtime to keep your bladder calm. Number 7. Zucchini. Zucchini is another underrated vegetable for managing nighttime urination thanks to its gentle diuretic and anti-inflammatory properties. Zucchini contains a mix of potassium and magnesium, helping your body regulate fluids and relax bladder muscles. This combination reduces the pressure on your bladder at night and helps prevent those annoying frequent urges. It's also rich in antioxidants and vitamins that support kidney health. Healthy kidneys do a better job managing fluid balance, so your bladder isn't overwhelmed when you're trying to sleep. One thing that makes zucchini especially useful is its mildness. It's easy to digest and rarely irritates the bladder or gut, making it a safe option for older adults with sensitive systems. For best results, incorporate zucchini into your meals during the day, grilled, roasted, or sautéed with herbs. Avoid heavy seasoning or spicy sauces that could trigger bladder sensitivity. Number 9, sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are a powerhouse of nutrients that indirectly help reduce nighttime urination by supporting overall kidney and bladder health. They're rich in potassium, which balances sodium levels and helps the kidneys manage fluids effectively. When your kidneys work well, there's less excess fluid to fill your bladder at night. Sweet potatoes also contain anti-inflammatory compounds that soothe the urinary tract and prevent irritation. Unlike white potatoes, sweet potatoes have a low glycemic index, meaning they don't spike blood sugar. High blood sugar can worsen bladder problems, so sweet potatoes are a safer carb choice. Bake, roast, or steam sweet potatoes and enjoy them earlier in the day for best results. If you want, I can keep going with the rest of the vegetables or add tips on how to combine these for maximum benefit. Just let me know.